and aspirations of winning in the near future.
Jeff Johnson,
Jason Pratt,
Simon Smonski,
Hans Van Horn,
Dylan Wickersham.
We are IU Rugby Cycling.
Three of us are from Bloomington, and you know, it being such a big event here on campus, you know, and us being from the town, we've always really wanted to get involved, and so you know, to compete in this event, it's huge for us.
The energy at the Little Five is huge. I was here last year, and you can barely walk. I mean, they have all kinds of pre-event spectacular things that go on. People coming down from the sky in parachutes. It's amazing.
We're definitely rugby guys first. I mean, we kind of decided to do the Little Five thing at the end of last fall, and it really just came together for us. But I mean, we're always going to be, you know, monsters of the pitch first.
I think it's going to come down to who presented the highest level of commitment during practice, and who can really stay with the pack.
I think the biggest similarity is just the amount of determination, just the power to you know, stay with the pack and run through a guy, make a tackle. It's all the same. Really have to have a powerful will to do both sports.
Our team goal is to finish top 15 next weekend. We've been working pretty hard since quals, and I think it's something we can achieve as a team.
We put in a lot of hard work, and it's you know, it's paid off. I mean, I wouldn't say we've done terribly well, but we've definitely had some success on track.
We're building a foundation right now. I think that to build up for next year's coming. I feel that rugby has a advantage on everybody else just because we have the heart to go out there and do hard work.
Most of the guys on the team are seniors. I'm a freshman. I know we can get a lot more guys out from the team that can do this event, and I think that we can build a real tradition over the years.
Without a doubt, I'm already training for it.
I'm gonna get psyched. We're all gonna get psyched. It's gonna be crazy, and we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna impress a lot of people.
Team Rugby going in for an exchange right here. No, they don't tackle one another. And while they may be beasts on the pitch, the track a little bit different at this point. They are 12 laps behind the leaders.
Well, it's a different discipline, and Dylan knows as well as us, there's some sports that really transfer over to cycling, and I have not heard of rugby being one of those top sports, you know, swimming, cross-country running, and a couple others.
Not unless they allowed tackling in the Little 500. Maybe then it would make a difference.
Well, I guarantee if they were in the peloton, I would definitely be afraid that these guys wouldn't be afraid of taking you out.
That's for sure. You know, what we're seeing happen right now is that the lead peloton, which is made up of around 10 to 12 teams, has actually lapped a group of riders that are off the back. And that can cause a little bit of chaos. You know, if you follow the rules absolutely correctly, they would get that blue flag with the orange stripe in it that basically says, hey, you're going slow, the leaders are coming up behind you, move over to the side. And these are actually the same flag that they use in the Indy 500, just up the street, huh, Jason? So what happens is that the leaders are coming up from behind, they're trying to make their way through traffic without having an accident, which is really something that happens all the time.
Sure, and one of the big things that goes into it is really, you know, the coaching and the communication that happens. Right now you're going to see Black Key Bulls and Beta Theta Pi both come in for an exchange at the same time, and these riders have to communicate and you know, line up next to each other, but not in the same vertical line.
Yeah, that's right. We just saw that overlapping exchange, and you know, that's just something that happens with experience. You know, also something I've been noticing down in the pit from Fiji is that their coach has a lap card. And my guess, tell me if I'm wrong, Jason, is that they have an idea of exactly how many laps they want their riders to do a set in, and it's like helping them keep track.
It could be, and a lot of times we count down. Right. It's a lot easier for you to remember. You get a little bit worn out there after 20 laps, so you count down. I think he's seeing about 1 or 2 laps to go now.
Cutters is going to come in for an exchange. Dave Coughlin just finishing his set on the bike. And it looks like Paul Sigmason back on the bike for the Cutters.
You know, and Feisai just did an exchange for also, and so Feisai and Cutters can get together and try to make contact with the head of the field, because we see Dodds, and for the first time, it was Major Taylor sitting second wheel.
Well, talking to some of the Dodds House riders today, they said that you would see cooperation between themselves and FiSi, and to a much lesser extent, the Cutters.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what's about this event. It has so much history, and there's so much legacy that these kind of characters get developed, and especially between the teams. And these rivalries last for decades. And they you know, everyone keeps track of who does what, how many times has this team won, and you know, did you help us out last year, or did you really flick us? And if that's the case, we're going to pay you back, you know, and it's going to be a cold serving of revenge, that's for sure.
Well, Jim Kirkham, talking to him about strategy, he said just before the start of the race, as we see an exchange here for Team Major Taylor, he said everybody will be talking about strategy just before the race, but once the green flag drops and everybody's going, everything is out the window. Forget about it.
Sure, you just have to react, and Dylan knows, but you know, better than most of us, that bike racing is just it's on the bike and it's just reactions. You fuel off what the other team's doing. You try to put yourself and your team in a position to win. Team Major Taylor's really doing a tremendous job of putting themselves in a position to win. You can't see them right now. Cutters is trying to close that gap, and that's Paul Sigfusson, their rookie.
You know, you're right, Jason. You know, bike racing is really a practice of economics. You know, you have a limited amount of resources and you have to spend them at the right time. And so by using your instinct, reading the race, watching what your competitors are doing, and really understanding about the right time to make the move is what it's all about.
For me right now, I don't know about you guys, but it looks like TMT, Team Major Taylor, really has it kind of figured out. They're off the front. They're working with a team that's a lap down, you know, and have a little bit of gap. They're not a team that's got a lot of talk this spring because they're viewed as only being one rider deep, but just really putting in an incredible effort today.
Well, you know what's interesting is that while all the other teams were using all 4 of their riders to expend energy, Major Taylor used 1 for the first 60 laps. Right now they've got a guy out there who's completely fresh, hasn't even touched the wind yet, and he's really putting the hammer down, while we see Cutters and Dodds House and Black Key Bulls pulling on the front. Well, hey, these guys have been out there all day. Maybe they're a little tired. Maybe Major Taylor's going to get a gap and ride away with this race. Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, it'd be amazing. And this is really new for them. I mean, Courtney Bishop's in their pit. We just saw Courtney. They're also coached by Ken Nowakowski, who was formerly a track coach at Marion College. So they've just got a lot of knowledge and a lot of people that care about the event down there helping their team.
Well, you know, track racing, which definitely lends itself well to the Little 500, is a real strategic event, and there's a lot of, you know, a lot of tacticians involved in track racing, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some of those strategies being played out here today. Major Taylor still has a good gap. Cutters and Dodds House and Black Key Bulls are really trying hard to pull. You know, they're going to work together because the last thing they want to see is Major Taylor work.
Guys, after seeing the set that Ali Kamara pulled, how long should it take him to recover where he can come in and maybe ride this thing out?
It looks like there's a TMT rider going out there now, and that's not Ali. He's going to let 2 other riders do their sets, and then I anticipate he might get back out.
That's Dave Fung, who's about to make the bike-to-bike exchange.
And everybody at home realize they have a gap right now. They're riding aggressive, and this is so fun to watch.
Did you see that? Major Taylor, the coach, was saying, come on, exchange. The riders, his eyes are cross-eyed right now. He can't even see. He's still out there on the track.
And now that gap is starting to slip as the Black Key Bulls and the rest of the pack starting to catch up, and you can see FiSi along the backstretch making a move.
He got a little bit winded, didn't he, Dylan? His legs are starting to feel it, and his pace slowed down those last couple of laps. So
Definitely slowed down, you know, and they're coming up on lap traffic again. And it looks like we see that another exchange happening, and also the Major Taylor is going to do an exchange right now. They've got to get this guy out of the race and get somebody fresh in there.
A good set, right? You had a good set off the front, but he definitely felt it towards the end.
Yeah, he spent some matches there.
And we have the exchange for Team Major Taylor.
And that was Alphonse Egnick for Team Major Taylor.
In the lead, the white jersey of the Cutters, a 7-time champion.
We're through 87 laps here at the 57th Men's Little 500. And there are still a slew of teams that have been able to stay out of trouble and have been strong enough to stay up with the lead pack.
You know, Joe, we see Cutters really laying down some pipe out here right now. We got Black Key Bulls also pulling. Dodds House, same guys pulling, right? Major Taylor trying to catch back on, making their way through the field. Cutters doing an exchange there, great exchange, puts his guy right back in the middle of the field. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, that's how you race a Little 500, right, Jason? I mean, that's like you come out here textbook, you make the race, stay in the front, stay out of trouble, and really prepare for that last set.
Exchange for the base.
Absolutely. Each exchange counts, right? And so it's a teamwork that really goes into it. It's setting the next rider up just to be on the front of the pack, and that's what you see Cutters do so well. You see Dodds do it so well. Team Major Taylor's done well today.
You know, Jason, we saw the Cutters rider just a few moments ago riding in the gutter, you know, in that cement area, which is a lot faster than riding out on the cinders. And I can tell you, in some of the races like Paris-Roubaix and Tour of Flanders, you're constantly looking for the gutter. What happens if you ride the gutter in the little 500?
Well, it's technically against the rules.
Right.
It's only okay if there's a wreck, if there's a real reason to. And if you're in the gutter, the rule is that you can't improve your position. So you can go into the gutter to avoid things, but you really can't do it to attack.